Welcome to this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. In this program, we recap significant activities of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis over the past week. Coming up, police and fire services begin recruit training, Immigration Department targets sham marriages, Canadian charity donates 8,000 plus face shields, and St. Kitts and Nevis celebrates International Nurses Day. Those stories and more are next on the SKNIS Week in Review for the period May 7th to 13, 2021. Hello and welcome. I'm Ian Richards. The robust National Strategic Plan for Crime Detection, Reduction and Prevention has yielded positive results in fostering an enhanced atmosphere of safety and security in St. Kitts and Nevis and boosting the morale of the men and women in the security forces. On Tuesday, Commissioner of Police Hilroy Brandy shared some statistics as it relates to the continued downward trend in crime.
In 2018, we have seen 1,857 reported crimes against 1,348 in 2019. In 2020, we record 1,114 crimes for 2020, and to date, we have recorded 475 crimes for 2021. If I should give you a rundown of the most serious crimes that normally affect our citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis, that is homicide. In 2018, we recorded 23 homicides. 2019, we recorded 12 homicides, and in 2020, we recorded 10 homicides. To date, we have recorded 4 homicides for 2021.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. The Honorable Timothy Harris noted that the government sought to improve the security infrastructure by mounting closed-circuit television cameras in hotspots and areas of interest around the Federation. Renovation and, in some cases, the construction of new police stations were also carried out, along with increased training opportunities for law enforcement.
Taken as a whole, we have made significant strides towards the delivery of the stronger and safer future, which all of us, good citizens and residents alike, desire and deserve. Through our combined efforts and strategies, we have experienced in the Federation a welcome, sweeping reduction in major crimes, the most egregious of them being homicides. I commend the High Command and the hard-working rank and file of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force and the officers and ranks of the Defence Force. Notwithstanding our outstanding successes to date, we must not become complacent, but remain prepared and vigilant.
"32 men and women have begun 6 months of intense and focused training designed to transform them into fully fledged dedicated members of the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force. Monday signaled the start of Recruit Training Course 45 at the Police Training Complex. Areas to be covered include general duties, criminal law, evidence and procedure, weapons training, foot and arm drill, Spanish, and more. Inspector Shauna Edwards is the commandant of the Police Training Complex.
We just wanted to welcome them and usher them into the police service, and we implore upon them to make a difference in what we offer as a police organization. They were informed of the various topics and disciplines that they will have to go through, and I would say that they received the information well. We are hoping that by the end of the next 6 months that they would be all successful and graduate as full police officers.
And speaking of training, 30 members of the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Services are also undergoing recruit training. Some men and women were divided into 2 batches of 15, and will participate in a 6-week program respectively. The course opened on Monday. It features sessions on firefighter health and safety, rescue extrication, land search and rescue, mass casualty management, protecting fire scene evidence, hazmat, first aid, and more. Garfield Hodge is the acting chief fire officer.
The content of the training will be flavored with the most advanced modern techniques and skills according to the standards of the National Fire Protection Association, NFPA, which is the international standard for all firefighting entities across the globe. Therefore, citizens and residents should take comfort in the fact that the services provided by the St. Kitts Nevis Fire and Rescue Services are delivered with the most advanced and current technique and skills relative to firefighting and rescue.
After graduating, the new fully fledged fire officers will be assigned various duties. There may be some who wonder, what does a fire officer do on a typical day? Well, Fire Substation Officer Level 2 Rommel Williams provided some insight on Wednesday. He noted that there are ongoing training courses in different areas, such as first aid, to enable them to assist local paramedics during emergencies.
When we are not able to train, we have to go out and do inspections. Business properties, residential properties. We go out and we do lectures in the uses of the fire extinguishers and what have you. And of course, when there are days when we have fires, there are some really rough days. There are times where we could respond to up to 7-8 fires in one day. Sometimes, as recently as maybe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Tabernacle District, they left the station 10 in the morning and did not return till 10 in the night. So they were out all day fighting fires.
The Immigration Department is taking a closer look at marriages of convenience, otherwise known as sham marriages. Sham marriages refer to any marital arrangement entered into without a real marital relationship. Think of someone who marries to get citizenship or other benefits. Chief Immigration Officer Mercelyn Hughes addressed the matter on Tuesday and said that a legislative solution is being considered.
These are some of the things that we're looking at in terms of the Immigration Act to be reviewed and for amendments to the Immigration Act. Those are some of the recommendations that we wish to make so that when these situations occur, that we will have teeth, we will have the grounds to stand on to investigate.
$8,400 face shields were donated to St. Kitts and Nevis by the Global Medical Group of Canada to assist ongoing efforts to manage the spread of COVID-19. A ceremony was held on Monday to present the personal protective equipment to the Ministry of Health and the Ministry of National Security. The handover was done by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Honorable Mark Brantley.
As you know, we have been in the throes of this pandemic, this COVID-19 pandemic that we have been fighting for some time. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has been doing its part in trying to find partners who have been willing to donate, to contribute to our efforts here in St. Kitts and Nevis. And through the efforts of our High Commissioner in Canada, Her Excellency Sherry Tross, we have been able to get from Global Medic, an international group that engages in charitable donations, these face shields for our frontline workers. I'm told that these should be distributed to our health workers, to our national security personnel, and to those who are on the front lines to better protect us from COVID-19.
Authorities have strongly encouraged the public to get vaccinated and comply with the safety protocols of wearing face masks, sanitizing hands, and maintaining social and physical distancing to protect against contracting COVID-19. To date, St. Kitts and Nevis has recorded only 45 positive cases of COVID-19. However, all of the positive gains can be washed away in an instance as a result of the actions of others. Superintendent of Police Cromwell Williams cited a recent case of illegal entry that should stand as a warning for all to remain vigilant.
On Tuesday 11th May at about 10:30 a.m., the police received information about a fishing vessel landing at Limekeel Bay and an individual with a suitcase alighting the vessel and running off into the Limekeel village area. Our investigation so far has revealed that the vessel was stolen in Antigua the night before. This has led us to believe that the individual possibly came from Antigua. We are well aware of the COVID-19 situation in Antigua with respect to community spread. This has raised concern for us as we do not know the COVID-19 status of this person who has now integrated into our society.
The individual, a young man, has since been apprehended in the Buckley's area. He is currently in quarantine under guard. Superintendent Henry noted that the young man was tested for COVID-19 and the results were negative. He will be tested again in 14 days. And finally, Minister of Health, the Honorable Akila Baron Nisbet, saluted nurses in St. Kitts and Nevis for their outstanding service and commitment to duty. The commendation was given in an address to commemorate International Nurses Day on Wednesday.
The Ministry of Health and the Government of St. Kitts and Nevis are deeply grateful to the nurses who are doing their part and have embraced their ethical and professional responsibilities in helping to keep our communities safe, being cognizant of the fact that the world continues to combat the pandemic with its formidable threats to life, liberty, public health, and public safety. The ministry is nonetheless pleased that the nurses are celebrating in 2021 after foregoing many of the usual activities in 2020 in their selfless service and personal sacrifice in confronting the coronavirus.
The overarching theme for International Nurses Day was Nurses, a Voice to Lead, while the sub-theme for 2021 is a vision for future healthcare. That's all for this edition of the SKNIS Week in Review. I'm Ian Richards.